Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Michael
Good
Miner, and I am the National Director of the National Baptist Convention USA Incorporated Hope Health Ministry. And we are excited for you all to join us on this afternoon. All right. I'm thinking I'm turning it over to Sister Linda Copper, who will uh, do our acknowledgments and get us started on this afternoon. I just want to remind everyone that we are restreaming this on Facebook and YouTube. So feel free to share. Our Facebook page is National Baptist Convention USA Incorporated Hope. And you can go to us on YouTube for NBC USA Hope. We're excited about what we're going to share today. And I'm going to turn you over to Sister Copper. We also want to let everybody know today is her birthday. So she is doing great today to come and share with us on today. She has the rest of the run of the show, and we'll give our acknowledgments and further introduce us. Sister
Okay.
Copper.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Miner. And again, welcome. Thank you for sharing this day with me and with us. I want to share my screen so that we can view our acknowledgments and let you know that with our hope foundational scripture is Psalm 139:14. I will praise you for I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. And of course, that's Psalm 139:14. Uh, as we talk about our leadership acknowledgement, we want to recognize our National Convention President, Dr. Jerry Young, uh, of New Hope Missionary Baptist Church, where he's the pastor in Jackson, Mississippi, and of course, our National Director for Hope, Health and Human Services Partnership, Dr. Michael O. Miner, who's also the pastor of the Heal Hernando Church, located in Hernando, Mississippi. And then Pastor Bernard Montgomery, who is the Assistant Director for Hope, who's the pastor of New Bethany Baptist Church. Our national leadership acknowledgement, of course, Dr. Jerry Young, President, Dr. Alvin Edwards, who's our General Secretary, Dr. Alvin Love, our Chair of the Federal Faith-Based Development Initiative, and of course, Dr. Michael O. Miner, our National Director, NBC USA Liaison to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Now, our HOPE team members include Dr. Miner, Sister Lottie Miner, Pastor Bernard Montgomery, Pastor Dexter Moraney, Sister Ellen McKnight, Minister Geraldine Moore, Dr. Desi Levy, myself, Linda Carper, Sister Loretta Miller, Dr. Lavoria Williams, and our newest members to the team include Dr. Felisa Washington, Sister Bettina Campbell, and Sister Michelle Johnson. Of course, during this week, we are in our Congress session, and our Hope Health Ambassador training session began on yesterday. So if you are new to the webinar or you're wanting to join, we want you to make sure that you tune in live with us on tomorrow, Wednesday. We'll go Wednesday and Thursday, 10 a.m. to noon. And the Zoom link is located here. We'll also put it in the chat, but you can share with us with the Hope Initiative class, course 3, Congregational Health Leader, and our instructor, of course, is Minister Geraldine Moore from Alabama, and the host include Pastor Bernard Montgomery and Pastor Dexter Moraney. Of course, this class incorporates the completion of initiative class number 2, and the topics covered. We talked about the use of prayer as an intervention, because the Hope Health Ministry is a ministry, and we prepare for advocacy, engage in advocacy, and utilize self-care and wellness coaching. And please note, we want you to know that you will receive an overview of the NIH All of Us Research Program, NIH being National Institutes of Health. And then all week long through Thursday, well, all week long, we want you to check out our YouTube channel and complete the modules 1 and 2, and send your surveys to info@hope.nbc. So our upcoming webinars, of course, today we are providing HOPE updates. Tomorrow is the CMS updates, including Affordable Care Act and the COVID-19 vaccine. And then on Thursday, the 1619 project and the critical race theory. We'll have a conversation there. Dr. Minor, did you want me to go on to the regional?
No, let's just pause right there.
Okay.
All right. Okay. All right, everybody. We're waiting. Here we go. And we'll go ahead and we'll say a few more things. And we'll introduce our other co-host,
Yeah.
Sister Lottie Minor.
Hi, Sister Minor.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
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 Welcome.
Hello.
Just call me Late Lottie, but I'm here.
Yes, ma'am, you are.
I am here.
All right.
Greetings, everyone.
Greetings.
All right.
Greetings.
And we're so excited Sister Maddox made it. She's going to say a few more things about our team. And some of the things that our team members are doing.
Guys, we have the most wonderful team. And I say this with all seriousness. You see it exhibited when Late Lottie comes in. What a wonderful team we have, because we truly do back one another up. Not just myself and Dr. Minor as husband and wife, but our entire team of HOPE team members. We really believe that there is no I in team, and we are truly doing kingdom work. We help each other, but most importantly, we do what we do to build the kingdom. And we don't want to all, I'll say it like this. Each and every one of us as believers, we want to get to glory. That's what it's about. Our vision is heaven, but on that road to heaven, we want everybody to have a healthier life. We want the quality and the quantity. And what we try to do is help our fellow team members as well as our member churches to achieve that optimal health. We do that by trying to practice all the things that we teach, and by just helping one another, by really, really believing in working together and being true health ambassadors and ambassadors for Christ. Our team members, let me name off our team. Okay, well, I think Sister Carpenter's already named off our team. I want to talk a little bit about the expertise that exists within our team. Obviously, we have a very diverse team that comes from across this country. Every team member brings unique skills, unique gifts and talents that God has blessed them with. I'll start with our newest team members, Dr. Felisa Washington, Sister Bettina Campbell, and Sister Michelle Johnson. Sister Johnson's expertise is hands-on. As a nurse in her church's Nurses Guild, the head of her church's health ministry, where Dr. Love serves as pastor at Lilydale Baptist Church in Chicago. And then, of course, we have Sister Campbell, who is a master's level licensed social worker who has spent the last 25 plus years working in the area of AIDS and HIV prevention and education. Her emphasis has been on that and other areas of reproductive health, because those are the things that plague our community. And unfortunately, those particular disparities are not spoken about enough in our churches. Those conditions that she has dealt with as a clinical social worker have for too long been taboo in terms of the reproductive health, AIDS and HIV, women's health issues, and then of course, mental health. We know it has been a taboo subject. So Sister Campbell has done a fabulous job of bringing those subjects to the forefront, particularly in light of the COVID pandemic. We find that COVID has brought about new mental health conditions that we may not have thought about. Some things are coming out now as a result of COVID, both COVID infections and also just living in a pandemic environment. There's also been some neglect for that reproductive health and women's health and sexual health because all the attention has been on COVID. So Sister Campbell's done a fabulous job of trying to bring those things to the forefront. Dr. Felisa Washington has a medical background as a nurse practitioner. So she brings quite a bit of knowledge to her role. Our other team members, Dr. Lavora Williams is a researcher with the University of Kentucky. She is also a nurse practitioner who has done very, very deep study and very, very deep research in terms of looking into COVID and even into the development of the COVID vaccine. So she was able to help us with that. Sister Loretta Miller hails from the Memphis area, just a staunch supporter of Christian education, who has done a fabulous job as one of our lead teachers. Dr. Desi Levy, another nurse who's on our team, who was works at a university actually in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. First lady to Dr. Gary Levy, up in their area, leading the way as an African-American woman in the area of research and health at the university there. Minister Moore, as you know, very, very deep background in outreach, grant writing, grants administration, and of course, a gospel preacher. She is full of fire. If you have not heard Minister Geraldine Moore, you missed a treat. Sister Ellen McKnight is a licensed credentialed nutritionist who helps us as we talk about being healthier, helps us learn about the foods that we eat. She's taught us how to read labels appropriately. She's helped us understand that we don't have to take a whole lot of things out of our diet, but it's the amount, the quantity, how we prepare those things that makes a difference when it comes to disease prevention and disease treatment in relation to our food. Pastor Dexter Moraney has pastored for 35 plus years, one of our lead teachers, excellent teacher, excellent gospel preacher, actually currently works in the prison system here in the state of Tennessee. So he brings a unique gift of being able to talk to anyone on any level, which, you know, that's part of health ministry. When we have people who are returning citizens, who are returning to public life when they come out of incarceration, many of those individuals look like us, and they come out of those places with sometimes greater health disparities than what they entered with. So he has a unique take on that. Pastor Bernard Montgomery, who you know is our assistant director of this ministry, of the Hope Ministry, and lead teacher. You all have heard him today. What a fabulous instructor, what a fabulous gospel preacher he is. And we're so thankful that the Lord blessed him to retire from his job with the Postal Service so he can give us more of his time and expertise. I think his other talent, his other gift from God, in addition to being a gospel preacher and a great teacher, is being a little bit of a comedian. So he adds a lot of levity to what we do. And we know that the Bible speaks of the importance of laughter and having a merry heart. So he's fabulous at doing that. My co-host today, Linda Carper. She is a doctoral candidate. She works in the area of dietetics, worked in the area of dietetics at her previous position, and she is probably the best teacher in the Southwest. Fabulous. And she can do just about anything when it comes to fitness. Her focus area with the Hope Ministry is helping our seasoned saints to stay active. The way that she has presented line dancing, to believers is to be commended. We know that many do not have not understood the importance of fitness, even in the worship setting. But Sister Carper has done a great job with our National Seasoned Saints Fit for Service area of emphasis and helping people to get moving, helping even those that are somewhat physically debilitated find easy ways, even if it's chair exercises, to get the body moving. She's taught us that motion is lotion. It helps us to do better when we move. And last but not least, of course, our leader, Dr. Minor. Probably the most humble leader that I know, works very diligently under the leadership of our chair of the Federal Faith-Based Development Initiative, Dr. Alvin Love. And of course, he works under Dr. Young, our president, but Dr. Minor has gone the extra mile to help us locate the resources that we need to educate our member churches, resources to help member churches and our convention be more financially viable in terms of promoting health ministry. And as a researcher himself, he has an earned doctorate in the area of education. He's able to have the hard conversations with those individuals at HHS and CMS and NIH so that we can build those partnerships with the Heart Association or All of Us Research or the folks who work with the Affordable Care Act. So that's a little bit about who our team is and how we come together and how we gel together with the help of the Lord. Other members of our team, oh, I missed Sister Nettie Johnson. Oh my goodness. I don't see Sister Nettie on my list, but she came to my mind. I left her off. Nettie is our National Physical Fitness Coordinator. She is a credentialed health coach. She is an author. She is a blogger. And she has a personal testimony that is absolutely fabulous. She talks about how the Lord directed her to this work that she is in through her own experiences with health disparities and preventable illnesses. So she's done a fabulous job of helping us understand that fitness has to do with not only exercise, but it has to do with healthy eating. It has to do with mindset, and it has to do most importantly with viewing our body as the temple of the Lord. How do we treat this temple? Everything that she does in relation to health coaching talks about the word of God and how as believers, we have to be stewards of this body because this is the only body we get. We get one chance with this right here. When we leave this earth, this right here is over. So let's do the best we can with it while we can. Last but not least, our health fair directors emeritus, Miss Evelyn Mason and Miss Fannie Fair, who are still very active. They support us from behind the scenes. They offer their prayers. They offer their wisdom. We do thank God for them for laying the groundwork. And of course, we have one other national trainer, Dr. Marion Talley, who again has an earned doctorate. And what she does is tries to do a lot of our education events that happen in the Mississippi area, particularly in the Jackson, Mississippi area. We know that there's a plethora of health disparities there that impact our community, people that look like us. All right, did I cover everybody, Sister Carper? I tried to.
Yes, ma'am, you sure did. Thank you.
All right, I hope I did everybody justice because you all deserve it. We thank God for our wonderful team.
Amen.
We want to, Dr. Minor is messing with the screen a little bit here, but we want to continue. I think he's trying to make sure that we are streaming on all of the social media platforms where we need to stream. And so I'll say this, we thank him. We know that he's not officially a tech person, but he has done a fabulous job of helping us produce these videos and these webinars in a format where people can see them in almost every type of social media that there is. Facebook, YouTube, Zoom, all of it. So this pandemic has caused him to have to pivot a little bit and learn some different ways of sharing information. So we thank God that he has an open mind for that and that he's sharp enough to get it done, because I can't do it.
Amen.
Sister Copper.
Okay. As we as you learn about our team members, we want to remind you to, again, send emails to us at info@hopembc.com if you have any questions. In the chat, you will notice that we have the links for tomorrow's class session and our YouTube playlist link. So please take advantage of that. As we move through giving you updates, we look at the launch of our regional alignment, and as we look at the 7 regions, and I can share my screen, Sister Minor.
Okay.
Our regional structure, we list the regions and states, which include our Northeast region, which is Connecticut, Delaware, District of Columbia, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, and Vermont. Our Southeast region includes Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. And our Southwest region 1 includes Alabama, Kentucky, Mississippi, Tennessee, and Germany. Our Southwest region 2 includes Arkansas, Louisiana, Texas, and the Caribbean. Our Midwest region includes Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Michigan, Minnesota, Missouri, Ohio, Wisconsin, and West Virginia. And then our West region 1 includes Colorado, Kansas, Nebraska, New Mexico, and Oklahoma. And then Western region 2 includes Alaska, Arizona, California, Nevada, Oregon, Utah, and Washington. And
Right.
as health ambassadors, we want to make sure that we have a representative in each area. Sister Minor, you want to speak more about?
Sister Copper, we have a question from
okay.
Al Brown. Okay. I don't know if it's Mr. Reverend Dr. Brown, but you can just hit unmute, because unlike our normal webinars, we'll take questions as we go. Mr. Al Brown, you can unmute your mic and ask your question. Okay, well, maybe that was.
He may not have meant to do that, because I'm clicking ask to unmute.
All right, well, we'll go ahead and we'll.
If you still want to ask your question later, you can certainly do so, Brother Brown.
All right, we'll move on.
Okay.
So in reference to our regions, we know that this is our regional alignment for our Hope ministry, which matches the regional alignment for our convention. But
we made one change.
Okay.
In that for the Southwest is so large, we follow the guide of the Sunday School Publishing Board, and we split the Southwest into 2 regions, Southwest 1 and Southwest 2. Other than that, we follow the guidelines of the convention.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Mine. What I was going to say is, going back to the fact that we all work together, there'll be many occasions where there is overlap in the work that we do in terms of health ministry for those regions. We all help each other. So we don't want anyone who's viewing this now or viewing this later to feel like they're, confined. If they're in Connecticut and their regional point person is not available for what they need, all our point people will be able to communicate with one another and back one another up in very much the same way that our Hope team does. We're all working together, kingdom building, and trying to help us be healthy while we're doing that kingdom building. So that's kind of how that alignment is going to work. And the geographical areas are important, I think, because when you look at health ministry and disparities, even though many things are the same across the board for African Americans, regional differences do exist. I'll give you an example. For example, in the South, our Bible Belt states, where a lot of our convention churches are kind of clustered together in Mississippi and Alabama, we suffer from some of the same disparities just because of the way we cook. You may find somebody in another part of the country whose disparities or health conditions may come about because of something else, perhaps environment or pollution. So there's some differences based on location. So let's move on, Sister Carper, to the next area. We want to talk a little bit about the All of Us research program initiative. You all that are viewing can see behind Sister Carper's head, there is the All of Us logo. And I'm going to stand up in front of this camera so you can see my shirt that says All of Us Research Program. And I think the back, hope you can see that. Dr. Minor, can you tell them what the back is?
Yes, and it says, "The future of health begins with you."
So let's talk a little bit about what that means for us as members of the H.O.P.E team, as health ambassadors, and as members of the National Baptist Convention. We were blessed 4 years ago to be approached by the National Institutes of Health regarding funding opportunities to help them find 1 million people to participate in a study that was centered around achieving better health outcomes for all Americans. This particular initiative was based in President Barack Obama's really the Patient Protection and Care Act, which we know as the Affordable Care Act, or the ACA. There is a provision in that particular act that speaks about precision medicine. And actually, when we do our health ambassador trainings, for those of you who've gone through the training, when we get to the section, the sections, plural, about Henrietta Lacks, you'll see that we'll show the Obama clip where he made his first big announcement. There was a big press conference about precision medicine and something called patient-centered care. Patient-centered care. Many hospitals and many providers participated in what they called PCORI activities. And PCORI was an acronym that talked about patient-centered care outreach initiatives. Now, what was meant by that is that precision medicine wanted to really be truly precise in what they do. And one of the examples that we like to use is about eyeglasses. I stole this from Pastor Montgomery, so props to you, Pastor Montgomery. But if you look at Sister Carper and you look at me, we have a lot of similarities. African-American women, we're both pretty much in the South, different parts of the South, but we're in the South. Not a huge age difference, I don't think. Not at all. So we have a lot of things in common. And if you knew us better, if you knew some of the stuff that she and I talk about, you'd be like, are they cousins? But at any rate, we're not cousins, but we could be. We're sisters in Christ. But let's look at the most obvious similarity on the screen, other than our gender and our race, is our eyeglasses. We both wear glasses. We both wear prescription glasses. Sister Carper's prescription is her prescription. My prescription is my prescription. We cannot share eyeglasses. Out of all the other similarities that we have, we can't, there's no overlap on that. Hers won't work for me, mine won't work for her. What that means is precision medicine was used to ensure that we both have the right prescription. and that we were treated as individuals, even if we had gone to the same eye doctor. They had to treat us differently. That's what precision medicine or patient-centered care addresses, looking at every patient as an individual, helping that person achieve better health outcomes for themselves, and prayerfully working towards better health outcomes for future generations. So I've taken you from precision medicine, patient-centered care, and there are many levels to patient-centered care, even going as deep as making sure that doctors and patients understand one another's language, that doctors speak to us in layman's terms so we understand what they're saying to us. So I've taken you from precision medicine to patient-centered care. Then you come to the National Institutes of Health, who have this funding that's based around those two concepts, which were rooted in a lot of President Obama's work. And in comes this initiative called the All of Us Research Program. All of Us wants to find 1 million people, a diverse group of people, Americans, who will participate in a non-invasive study to help researchers and providers do a better job of making sure that every patient is treated individually with the precise prescription that they need, both to treat illnesses that they have and then to prevent illness. Now, when you look at that in reference to the National Baptist Convention, they approached us because of the humongous footprint that we have across this country, and because our member churches are predominantly African American, and we've been saying this word health disparity all during this presentation. We, African Americans, suffer from so many more health disparities than any other group. Of course, there are other people of color that suffer from similar disparities, but I'm speaking of those I'm talking about us, just us chickens right now. So they approached us because of the influence and the footprint that we have among African Americans and the unique medical needs that we have. Why are our needs so unique? Because when researchers come up with medications, the folks that have historically participated in the research did not look like us. They were usually middle-aged white men who had fairly good health. So that explains why sometimes when we go to get a prescription from our doctor for perhaps high blood pressure, which is very prevalent among African Americans, they have to try multiple drugs before they find the right one. And there's one in particular, I won't say the name in this setting, but there's one in particular that can be deadly for African Americans because it is an ACE inhibitor. And often we don't do well with that. And what happens is some patients who take that drug find that their blood pressure is controlled very well. However, the side effects are worse than the high blood pressure. They come up with swelling of the mouth, of the throat, of the tongue, sometimes the whole body, which can cause death. That's just one example. That's an extreme example, but that's why All of Us research is important. They want to look at everything: genetics, environment, culture,
the behavior.
Thank you. Behaviors. Everything that we do that either makes us sick or keeps us healthy. And if it's keeping us healthy, they want to replicate it. So future generations will continue to have better health outcomes. What did I miss, Sister Copper? I think I missed something. Help me out.
No, you did the health behaviors, health habits, and the genetics.
Yes,
three
ma'am.
make up.
Yes. So that's why we have in our agenda the All of Us Research Program. We still urge all of our member churches to promote it among their congregations. Each member of our HOPE team has joined All of Us. It's a very simple survey. And they keep up with you even once you give your bio samples, and it's nothing majorly invasive. They ask for perhaps blood, perhaps urine, perhaps saliva. Some individuals don't want to give samples. They only want to talk about BMI, body weight, and that's okay too. And everything is kept confidential. And what we're going to start doing in 2021 and with the remainder of this year and through next year is target certain cities to promote all of us. And you see those cities listed on your screen. So all of us chose these particular cities. This was not our choice, but they have a team of people who do demographic studies, who figure out where this particular outreach needs to happen. And they have what's called health provider organizations. You'll hear us sometimes in our training say HPOs, and that's what we're talking about. Those are the people that will collect the biosamples. Obviously, that has looked very different during the pandemic. It's beginning to look more normal now as we ease back into normal life. But they take the samples, they help the participant understand their results so that they can begin to move towards living a healthier lifestyle. We're actually working with HPOs right now in the Florida area, and you see that Miami is listed on the screen there. Okay. Sister Carper, you want to go on to talk about Novo Nordisk a little bit? Oh, I'm sorry. Dr. Miner is saying something.
Okay.
Something.
And Dr. Miner?
Go ahead, Dr. Miner.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Oh, yeah. He wants us to make sure that everybody sees our lovely All of Us research slide. I'm going to read that link to you. I know you see it. Don't want to insult your intelligence, but I'll read it anyway. www.joinallofus.org/together. And you can see that is Dr. Dara Richardson Heron, who used to be the director of NIH. She actually visited our winter board meeting a couple of years ago. I don't know who those gentlemen with her are. Who are they? They look like Dr. Young and Dr. Miner. Why is Dr. Miner in every picture?
He's the director, Sister Miner.
He's photogenic. That's what it is.
And as you look at the pictures, we just want to note too that during our health ambassador trainings, during all of our trainings, we want to make sure that you are aware of All of Us research. So we provide that as part of the training. You see Sister Nettie Johnson and Minister Geraldine Moore.
And Pastor Montgomery.
And Pastor Montgomery and Sister Lottie. There you go.
Dr. Gary Levy.
And then
there's Linda Carper.
Yes. And remember, before COVID, we had the All of Us Journey Bus. Mm-hmm. And many people may remember that. And we want you to know that All of Us is still alive and well. So check out the website.
There's Dr. Levy.
And Rima. Mm-hmm. Sister Miner, Minister Geraldine Moore.
So the All of Us program has been a lot of fun for us. I do believe they will bring back that journey bus as the COVID environment, gets better. It is an interactive. It's a traveling camper that has been gutted. One of those top of the line campers that has been gutted and redone with all this audiovisual equipment to help people understand why All of Us looks at culture, behavior, demographics, genetics, what that really means. They have a very interactive activity about the eyeglasses, like the one that I use, and it's much more engaging than what I could just say verbally, because you're doing it with yourself. There's one activity where you put a headphone on and you listen to a sound. Mm-hmm. And this is the one that resonated with me, because when I did it, there was people in the room from other parts of the country. When I heard it, I kind of thought it was rain hitting a tin roof, because where am I from? Originally from a small town in Mississippi, and I was raised in a house with a tin roof. Somebody that was from a city, a large metropolitan city, much larger than Memphis, where I live now, thought it was a subway train. You know, somebody else said the sound was something else. And it helped us see the differences in people. You know, we're different, but we're similar. Right. And it's the same thing when it comes to our makeup, our physiological makeup, and how we respond to medications and so forth. So it's interesting. I'm prayerful that our environment will get better soon, so they can start back taking out the journey bus. It was actually here in Memphis a couple of times. To present.
And in the Houston area, in Houston, we've been around. And we want to just remind everyone, if you have any comments, any reservations, check out the website. Please ask us questions. Those of us who have actually joined to help with this research program. The answers are on the website. You may have other questions that may come up, but this is our opportunity to participate in the research, making a difference, always making a difference for the future. Again, it's future generations, but look at what you can actually receive from the research. They will provide you with your, and again, precise, your results.
And it's confidential. And actually, those of you who've been health ambassadors in the training, you know, we talk about the other experiences that our people have had with research. So we do address, you know, once you share, if you want to share this information, prayerfully you will, with your congregation, please make them aware that when we do the trainings, we do address the elephant in the room, the Henrietta Lacks and the Tuskegee and all that. And we talk about how this is quite different from those things.
Right.
Sister Carper, anything else on all of us that I've omitted?
No, because when you mention about the elephant in the room, a lot of times that's what we do. We talk around the situation, and it's recognized that things have happened, but this is now our time to make a difference. This is our time to let your voice be heard. You know what medications work for you. You know your body. That's key in making sure that your voice is heard as it's related to what's impacting you. And all of us, in one form or another, through a relative, individually, or even a close friend, know how important medication is. We also know that it's important that we participate in the research for our future.
I love the way you said about let our voice be heard, because that speaks directly to that patient-centered care. You know, it's hard for the doctor or the provider, let me say it that way, to really give us patient-centered care if there's no communication.
Right.
They're kind of shooting in the dark if there's no meeting of the minds, if they're using language that we don't understand, or if we're not speaking up. I'll use myself for an example. I've taken elderly relatives to the doctor before, and I've had a list of questions written down. And that's advisable for everybody, regardless of your health literacy level, to write your questions down that you have for your provider, because there's something called white coat syndrome. When you see that white jacket, no matter how educated you are, something happens, because there's a level of intimidation. So that those questions are written, you can ask. And when I took that relative that time and we got home, she said to me, you really put it to that doctor? I said, no, I didn't. I said, the doctor appreciated the questions because that was helping her to better help you.
Right.
So we've got to speak, and they know what we're saying if we just talk. And then if they say something to us in a way that we don't understand, this All of Us research program will prayerfully help those providers learn to better communicate with us. So we understand, you know, taking 2 pills a day, doesn't mean taking 2 at breakfast time. It means 1 in the morning, 1 at night. It's got to be explained.
Right.
In everyday terms.
And it's that communication.
Yes,
that
ma'am.
communication, the connection that you have with
And
it.
take somebody with you to the doctor when you go to help
Yeah.
with those questions.
Mhm.
So that's really what all of us is about. Anybody who's viewing who has not checked out their website, please, please do so. It's a great collaboration between National Baptist and all of us, or NIH, I should say. All right. Is it
Anyone
time
with
to turn
questions or
obesity
comments?
around, Sister Carper?
Okay.
You think we
Uh,
want to do that now?
I
Sister
couldn't
Carper
hear.
is working on her screen. I think I may be able to pull mine up.
Okay.
Harper.
Hold on, let me do that.
There it is. All right.
Okay.
Hopefully everybody can see the third screen that's up there. Turn obesity around. We've done a series of turnaround programs for HOPE. The first one was Turn the Beat Around about 7, 8 years ago, maybe almost 9 years ago now, where there was funding to do research around heart disease and those types of disparities in Alabama. And our leadership team, Dr. Minor, Pastor Montgomery, along with Pastor Moraney and Minister Geraldine Moore, went across that state, teaching individuals, doing the health ambassador training, and working for this Turn the Beat Around. Our next turnaround initiative was somewhat around the Affordable Care Act and getting people covered.
Turn the uninsured around.
Turn the uninsured around. And then this one, Sister Carper, I'll let you share a little bit about Turn Obesity Around, which is our newest turnaround program.
Okay, and we are grateful for, I see Sister Nettie Johnson, she was our presenter with the Turn Obesity Around series. But just to give you some background information, with Turn Obesity Around, which is sponsored by Nova Nordis, with nearly 500 trained health ambassadors across the nation, NBC, we have the capacity to get the message out. And so each webinar targeted our health leaders. And of course, we began with our HOPE team members and provided an informative webinar series. And the team prepared the run for the webinars by ensuring that the content kept in line with our NBC USA Incorporated theological and ethical tenet. Our kickoff began March 25th in 2021. It was the Northeast region, and that was our kickoff. And then May 20th, we also had the Southeast region, and on June 3rd, the Midwest region. And then just last week, we had June 17th was the Southwest region. And coming up, please mark your calendars, get your pens ready. September 2nd at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, we will have another Turn Obesity Around webinar, and that will be the West region. And it will be a roundtable discussion on obesity in the Black community, the problem and remedies with reference to National Childhood Obesity Month. So please mark your calendars for September 2nd, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. The Turn Obesity Around webinar series will continue. These webinars, they focus on what we already promote in our health and wellness observances, but we want to give more attention to the fact how important it is for us, because obesity is an epidemic, and how important it is for us as within the African American community to turn that cycle around. And Sister Nettie Johnson and Sister Ellen McKnight usually are our leaders, our facilitators in opening up the discussion and providing us great information along with special guests to give us additional detailed information. In support of all of our observances, we want to make sure that you understand we host special Sunday activities, and those activities provide education around National Diabetes Awareness Month. That comes up in November, and of course, National Obesity Awareness Week. And we post all on our social media. We prepare toolkits. So we want to make sure that you check out HOPE, HOPE, NBC.com. Check out the website, HOPE, Health, Outreach, Prevention, and Education. Any comments or questions? We want to give you a chance to ask questions. And Sister Minor, I see. Oh, okay. I see we have September 11th through 30th, which is a shared, it will be shared during our virtual annual session. It's the Let's Move NBC USA. And of course, November 4th at 8 p.m., 7 p.m. Central is the Far West Region Roundtable discussion on obesity in the Black community, problem and remedies with reference to national diabetes. Okay, Sister Hickman, you had your hand raised. Let's see, Sister Hickman, are you muted?
Go ahead.
Sister Hickman.
I tried to get on one of the webinars, but I think I must not have had the right credentials.
Okay.
I couldn't log in.
Oh, really?
Yeah. In fact, there was a couple of them. I tried one of the turn obesity around and I couldn't log in. And it occurred to me that I guess I didn't have the correct, access code. Do you have to register before you can view these webinars?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So then if I wanted somebody to, I would have to go online to the HOPE website and register.
The Facebook page also has the registration link as well.
Okay. And,
so either one of them.
Yeah, and if we have your,
go ahead, Scott.
Oh, and if we have your email address, we'll make sure that the reminders are emailed to you along with the webinar ID.
Okay.
So hopefully that does not happen again, Sister Hickman.
And I can pass them along.
Yes,
I had some
ma'am.
other members of the ministry and some more advanced nurse practitioner type people that I know, and they're also interested. So I could pass it along to them also.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Please do.
Okay, thank you.
And then I see, Sister, is it, I know ALT, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Yes, you have your hand raised.
Yes, it is Altansis Brown. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. I have a question about your past webinar series. The first one was Turn the Beat Around. What was the second one? It can be
Turn the uninsured around.
Oh, thank you very much.
And now those were not webinars. That was pre-pandemic. So that was in person.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
And just to note, if you do want to view previous webinars that are on the YouTube channel, please check it out at the HOPE YouTube.
Oh, all right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And as a reminder, we're in the month of June, so we know June with our health observances with HOPE, we have Summer of Health and Wellness during Vacation Bible School. Of course, this month is Men's Health. We also have Fireworks Safety Month, which is observed through July 4th, and then Cataract Awareness Month. Coming up in the month of July, we have Summer of Health and Wellness, Vacation Bible School, Fireworks Safety Month, and then in July, it's National Minority Health Awareness Month. So June, Men's Health, July, Minority Mental Health Awareness Month. I mentioned our web presence and social media. If you want to note, the web page is hopenbc.com. The Facebook page is National Baptist Convention USA Incorporated Hope Health Initiative. The Twitter feed is at Hope_NBC USA. And then the YouTube channel is NBC USA Hope period, O period, P period, E period. And then we want to make sure that you complete the webinar survey. That link will be provided through the chat box, but please check that out and give us your feedback. Sister Minor?
Harper, thank you. You've done a great job.
Anything else?
Sharing
Any other?
those pages, those links, those ways to stay in touch with Hope. And we're available. I think that's Pastor Montgomery that has listed his phone number, I believe, in the chat. I think that was his number. So we're very accessible. If you have questions about any of the presentations, and actually his number is on the flyer that's behind my head as well. So between the websites that were given by Sister Copper and the links and all that, along with Pastor Montgomery's phone number, we want to make sure that everybody who wants to access our material is able to do so.
And remember to complete the survey so we can hear from you. If you're not able to share with us today, or if something comes up later, we want to hear from you. We want you to share with us how Hope is helping and can help or will help.
And if there's suggestions, we're very open. Those surveys give you a chance to really tell us if there's something that you see that we could possibly improve upon. Please let us know those things, because we do take your comments into consideration when we are planning, and we're always very prayerful about what we do as a ministry. As Sister Carper said a moment ago, we always want to be in line with the convention's theological and ethical tenets.
And remember to join us tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. For the Health Ambassador Training. Our instructors, Minister Geraldine Moore, Pastor Moraney, and Pastor Montgomery. And the next Turn Obesity Around webinar is September 2nd, right? Okay. All righty. Sister Minor, Dr. Minor, thank you all again for joining us.
All right. All right, everyone. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut off the social media at 4 o'clock Central Time, and we'll stay on for a few more minutes for those that are on if you have any questions. But we just want to let you all know that we're so thankful for our wonderful team. Myself, Sister Minor, Pastor Montgomery, Sister Bettina Campbell, Pastor Moraney, Sister Ellen McKnight, Dr. Felicia Washington, Minister Geraldine Moore, Dr. Desi Levy, Sister Linda Copper, Sister Loretta Miller, Dr. Lavora Williams, and Sister Michelle Johnson. All right, again, remind you all that we will have another webinar tomorrow. Special guests from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. They will talk about the Affordable Care Act, Medicare, and COVID-19. And of course, you don't want to miss Thursday at 3 o'clock Central Time. A special guest is going to come and share with us about the critical race theory and the 1619 Project conversation. And we will extend the time. We will plan to be on our Zoom call and YouTube and Facebook for the full 2-hour period. We know you all have a bunch of questions about it, so we want to be able to have as much time as possible to share about this important topic. Once again, we acknowledge our president, Dr. Jerry Young, who reminds us to envision the future exceptionally. This has been a production of the National Baptist Convention USA Incorporated, the nation's largest Black denomination. God bless and God keep you is our prayer.